These parts have been on the shelf way too long, so let's get them on the Type R and make some power. Who doesn't love a table full of brand new parts ready to go on a sweet car? Jake from P3 here with you. And this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time now. If you go back and check out our videos, we did a factory tour with PRL Motorsports a couple months ago, and they set us up with this full lineup of products. And basically, we work with PRL, we make some products with them. They started carrying our gauges when we started doing Honda stuff, and then they found out we had a Civic Type R. Well, actually, I should say, we reached out to them and said, hey, we've got a Civic Type R. We need some go-fast parts for this thing. And basically, this car is special because it has been our gateway into the Honda market. And we now make gauges for the 10th gen Civic and the 10th gen Accord, and soon to be 11th gens of both. And PRL has been a big part of that, kind of helping introduce us to the Honda market. And basically, they said, we want to work with you and throw all kinds of parts of this, have some fun together. And that's what we're doing. Here we are. We've got all these parts. And if you go back and watch that factory tour that we did with them, you'll get to see a lot of these parts being made. They machine all these intercooler ends. They do all these welds. Everything they do is top notch. They have great products, and we are tickled to be working with them. And so I'm also doing a fair share of learning on Hondas because I didn't really ever mess with Hondas growing up or even in recent years. So anyways, let's have some fun. Let's learn together and get all these beautiful parts into this engine bay. Sometimes I forget which tools I have here at P3 and at my home shop. And one of those tools is an O2 sensor socket. And because of this little collar on here, I can't get a wrench on there either. And that's keeping my heat shield on, and I can't get the downpipe off without that heat shield off. So I'm gonna have to run to the store, get an O2 sensor socket, but we have made lots of progress. The battery is out for access. The whole airbox, air cleaner, intake assembly is out. This charge pipe is out. And then we've also got the turbo inlet pipe that runs across here out. And let's take a quick look at that real quick. Here is the PRL titanium turbo inlet pipe. Very thin, extremely lightweight. And look at the diameter difference between that and the factory one. The other problem with this cast aluminum intake is it sits right on top of the turbo. So it's just soaking heat in all the time. And this has a lot of thermal mass. This is a pretty heavy part. It's pretty thick. And aluminum is good at dissipating heat, but it's also good at soaking it up as well. So hopefully this titanium one, being much thinner, much lighter, can really flow more air and also cool down much more quickly, keep those IATs down. So let's go get a socket so we can get this heat shield off the top. That will basically be most of the top end stuff done. And then we got to get this bumper cover off, heat shields off, get that downpipe and front pipe off so we can replace them with these parts. And we'll just keep on moving. You know we're going to Harbor Freight. Focus, focus. Oh yes, here we are. One of each. Matt, I drove the ZL1 for you, Derek, and Cade. All those guys always give me a hard time for not driving the ZL1 very much, which is very true. It sits right there a lot. Anyways, O2 sensor socket has that big slot for the cable to come out so you don't have to cut it. And there we are. Let's keep on moving. All right, as you can see, we are all exposed underneath here. We got our joint there. Front pipe goes over the cross member up to the downpipe, and then the downpipe's up here. Got to get that O2 sensor and heat shield off, transferred over to the new one. One thing I do want to stress greatly is that you have to reuse these brackets to hold the weight of the exhaust up. There are complaints on groups about the PRL downpipes cracking or breaking, and you will see that Spencer from PRL promptly follows up and says, hey, do you have your brackets installed? And they never do. The downpipe's not designed to hold the weight of the exhaust. It's designed to be a downpipe. And so if you don't use these brackets again, all the weight and then the engine torque is constantly working that downpipe in a way it should not be. So make sure you reuse the brackets. Other than that, very straightforward. We're just gonna drop this all out. Looks like there's plenty of room now that the world's largest under tray with the most fasteners ever is out. But yeah, looks pretty good. Let's get to getting these out. Okay, we are fully torn down. See that our downpipe is out and our front pipe is also out. We might have a few little things. I think there's a different fitting for the new charge pipe here, but a couple little odds and ends, but all the big parts are out. There's our factory downpipe and front pipe there. We're gonna throw on the new and improved PRL parts, but I think that is gonna be all I do for today because we've got a few orders to build, including a nice stocking order for PRL. Wish I could get it all done today, but can't do stuff like this without orders coming in. So we're gonna call it quits for today, go build some orders, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow, which will be here for you like. And just like that, here we are, not the next day, but the day after that, because I had to go in yesterday for jury duty selection.
I've been selling this here today as prospective grand jury.
And I didn't end up getting selected, thankfully, because I have stuff to do. But here we are. Couple things that I didn't realize. Forgot to pull the intercooler the other day, so we're not all the way torn down. Just take a couple minutes to get that out at this point, it looks like. And two, check out this banner PRL gave us. Look at the slogan, Premium Performance Products. 3 Ps, P3. Partnership that's meant to be. All right, let's get this intercooler out. Intercoolers are way easier to replace when you already have the bumper cover off. But over here, I've got the factory one and the PRL one laid side by side. Obviously already a big height difference as well as quite a difference in thickness. Pull these apart here. I've got my tape measure. The factory core is 2.5 inches thick, and then PRL's is 3.5 inches thick. So you've got a full inch of extra thickness there. And then we're looking at about 5 5/8 on the height. And then PRL's got a 7.25 inch tall intercooler. So we have a lot more real estate with this PRL intercooler to keep those IATs down. We've also got an upgraded end here that takes the place of this little piece of charge pipe. So we'll get that thrown in and just keep on trucking forward, having a good time throwing these parts on the Type R. Couple more minutes and boom, the big new intercooler is in it. Look at those beautiful machine marks there. That is sweet. This thing is massive. And what I like about this is you're reusing the factory mounts, and you can even retain these air deflectors, whatever you want to call them, air guides, even though this intercooler is way bigger than the stock one. So now I think we're going to move on to this void right here. We'll get our downpipe and front pipe in. That'll wrap everything up underneath, and then we're going to start working on all of our charge piping and our turbo inlet pipe and our big old high volume intake. So keep on moving. Got the bottom end stuff all wrapped up. Exhaust bolted in real nice. That is pretty. And then, Spencer, we've got our brackets on, so we're good to go there. We're gonna jump back up top now, get the air box and charge pipes in, and then we'll be ready to load the tune, start this thing up, and see what it sounds like now. Because we'll be getting all those induction noises and a little bit throatier exhaust sound. We did want to retain the factory exhaust just to keep this kind of quiet, but that may change down the road. We'll see. But I've seen other videos with this downpipe and front pipe combo, and it makes her grumble a little bit, but keeps it nice and quiet for daily driving. So we'll see how she goes. Feels great seeing all these parts in that box after working on this thing for 2 days. And it feels great seeing all these fancy, beautiful PRL parts under the hood. Really dresses things up. Looks so much nicer than the factory parts. And one thing I really appreciate, nice logo placement. Everything's where you can see it. A lot of companies you see, they just throw the logo on and it's just wherever. These ones actually work great. Fitment on everything has been great. You reuse all the factory brackets. I didn't have to cut or drill anything. So great products from the guys at PRL. We have got everything done on the cold side and hot side. The only thing we have left before putting the tune on is our flex fuel kit. And this is a pretty self-contained, straightforward kit. You're just going to use a bracket on the firewall right here. And just like with all these other parts, we're going to reuse factory brackets and bushings and bolts and everything. And we're going to just throw this on. And then we've got a plug and play harness with one ground strap loop there that we tie into a factory ground. I am out of time for today, so I'm going to have to snap my fingers again and send you guys on to tomorrow, or I guess Monday because it's Friday now. But 2 productive kind of half days on the car, got all the hardware done, and now we're ready to throw the flex fuel on and throw the tune on, and we're ready to ride in this thing. So I'm excited. Came together great. PRL is awesome. Just throwing that out there again. Shameless plug for PRL. Great guys over there. And I'll pick you up on Monday. This weather is absolutely gorgeous. Got the Lonely 7 Series back here. Might do something with that eventually. Weather in Ohio recently has been like the Pacific Northwest during rainy season. It has sucked. So it's really making me want to get this finished and out on the road. And all that's standing between us and that is getting this flex fuel kit on. So let's just get that going so we can get out there and enjoy that. Okay, that is already done. And I've done a lot of maintenance, work on cars, being a tech for many years, and a lot of mods. And that is a painless kit. PRL really did their homework, and I really appreciate that. They reuse factory brackets. All the harnesses are pre-cut to the perfect length. They give you very detailed instructions on how to do your routing and where to connect everything. And then we get to use the ECT2 connector down there. Honestly, everything, I've been very impressed with this entire kit, all these parts. We've just done an entire cold side kit and a good chunk of exhaust, an intercooler, some wiring, a flex fuel kit. We haven't drilled any holes. We haven't cut any factory parts. Everything can be put 100% back to stock, no exceptions. So extremely impressed with this kit. All I have to do is get this flex pipe reinstalled. I just wanted to give you a little visual there of our harness that we added. And then we're loading a tune in and firing this thing up. All right, everybody, this is the part of this process that I am least comfortable with, and that is the tuning aspect of this. And it's not because it's a terribly difficult process or anything. It's just due to my own ignorance, and I'm not a tech savvy guy by nature. Here at P3, if someone can make some weird, impossible computer problem happen, it's me. Happens all the time. I break things that shouldn't be able to be broken. It's just bizarre. I don't know. So I'm already just a little apprehensive with computer stuff, tickling the keyboard, as they say. But we just flashed our tune onto the car, and we got this from Derek Robinson over at Innovative Motorworks. And basically, I just tell him what parts I have on the car. He emails me a tune for that. And now we have to start the car and make 3 data log records. He wants a cold start. He wants a driving around cruising speed at operating temp, and then a wide open throttle pull. So we got to make those 3 recordings, send them to him. He may make adjustments if needed. I'm not sure if they have to or not, but anyways, here's where we're at. I'm going to double check a few things on the computer, make sure we're good here, and then we'll be firing this up for the first time. And I am very excited to be able to hear some turbo noises and maybe have a little bit of grumble from that exhaust. Okay. This is literally 5 to 6 hours after that last clip. Okay, here we go. That message on the computer screen in that last clip I had was literally a failure message saying that the tune could not be uploaded because the ECU was not jailbroken. I am a rookie and I didn't realize you had to do that first. So I kind of got myself into this weird little area where Honda didn't understand what was happening at first because what I was describing to them shouldn't have been possible. And then they kind of figured out I was able to flash back to stock and then go in and jailbreak it. But then when I tried to purchase the jailbreak from Honda, we're going back to my weird technological issues. The PayPal checkout screen finishes the checkout and then gives me an error page saying it can't divert me back to Honda's website. And so then I basically got charged, but then an order wasn't created on Honda's side. So I double check on PayPal, I was actually charged, and it's just this whole mess. This is my life. So half of this is my fault. Half of this, we don't know what happened. But anyways, now I jailbroke it and we are uploading our tune finally. We've got Risky Garage here, Noah, hanging out in the shop today. He just put an intake on his Mark 6R. Junior pro golfer, by the way. Just throwing it out there. That guy does a little everything. Okay, I'll get back with you when this is uploaded, and we should finally be starting this before I leave. It's 5 o'clock now. I'm not leaving until this thing's starting. All right, we can see that we've got my tune in there from the tuner. Noah, you're gonna take that. We're gonna do the old startup. Hopefully it starts, we'll see. Here we go. Oh, I'm in gear.
Yeah, I was gonna say the wheel's moving.
Like weird, it's saying I'm in doing some speed there. All right, well, we're running. I'm gonna get out here and check for a few issues, make sure we're not leaking anything. Sounds good. Make sure we have no fuel leaks. Good, doesn't sound like we have an exhaust leak. I think we're good. Fast forward a few days and we are on tune revision number 3. And again, we're working with Derek over at IMW Tune. Their system is so simple. They have a server you can upload your logs to. They download the tunes from there. It's so easy. Just go in there, send him the logs he needs, and then boom, he pops you out another revision. I'm not quite sure how the remote tuning situation works. Where do you decide I'm happy with power versus safety and all that kind of stuff? So rather than put some weak sauce numbers up on the dyno with an early tune revision, I want to wait till we really maximize performance on that. And instead, I've mic'd up the intake and the exhaust. And then you guys can hear what that intake sounds like and what that exhaust sounds like. Doing it right when the noises your car makes puts a smile on your face. Super stoked with all these parts from PRL Motorsports. Everything went together flawlessly, and we're looking forward to making some big power on the dyno. Go check those guys out, buy some parts, you will not be disappointed. We love ours so much that I've got another carload behind me here. You'll see that in a video soon, but I'm about to drive into a thunderstorm. It's already starting to rain, so I'm gonna sign off here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like the video, leave a comment, and most importantly, tell your friends about P3. It helps us spread the word, grow the channel, and get you guys more content. So we really appreciate that. We thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.